Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents More Than Hate You by Shayla Black. Narrated by Teddy Hamilton. Chapter 1. February 10th, Las Vegas. Sebastian. Well, that was a nice wedding, my boss and best friend Evan Cook says as he rattles the ice cubes in his glass of scotch before knocking back the liquid. If by nice you mean quick, yep, best kind of wedding in my opinion. Evan laughs. I can always count on you to be even less sentimental than me. Thanks for making me look good by comparison. I grin. What are friends for? Besides, I'm just being honest. Evan searches the luxurious rooftop deck for his wife. When he spots Nia, he relaxes, giving her a tip of his chin and a smile. Love is all over his usually detached face. Standing among the bridal party, she responds with a happy wave, her long dark hair caressing her bare, umber-hued shoulders. She doesn't look pregnant yet, but she absolutely glows. And not strictly with hormones. She's happy as hell with my buddy, and I'm thrilled for them. He deserves bliss after the disaster of his first marriage. Especially since, if things had turned out differently, I could have caused its end. Evan tosses back the last of his drink. You didn't have to come with Nia and me to see her half-brother get married, you know. He's right. When I first met Steven, I thought he was a raving douche. But the groom is important to Nia, who's important to Evan, and I have a lot to make up for. We both know it. It's no problem. Bullshit, it's a long flight from Maui, and you have a full plate. But hey, it's Vegas, not exactly a hardship. I take a long pull of my beer and hope he'll drop the subject. I guess I spoke too soon. So much for you being honest. I pause, the long neck freezing inches from my lips. You didn't come with Nia and me to this wedding because you wanted to visit Sin City. You didn't do it for any business reason either, so don't try that line. He sighs. Look, I know you still feel guilty about Becca. Man, I don't want to talk about this. From the minute we met in college, Evan was the best friend I could have asked for. He had a great idea for data storage solutions for businesses of all sizes, along with the technical know-how and the minimal capital required to get started. What he lacked was working knowledge about actually starting and running a company, especially its financials. Allocations, budgets, taxes, and employee compensation all overwhelmed him. So I stepped in. Over the next decade, Evan and I grew Stratus Storage Solutions together, from a vague notion to a firm worth over $1 billion. Everything was perfect, except I fell in love with his wife. We never talk about it, Evan points out. Nia constantly tells me it's not healthy to hide my feelings. That's true for you too. Probably so, but what do you want me to say? I'll apologize again. I'm sorry. More fucking sorry than you'll ever know. I swear I never touched Becca. I had no idea she was planning to divorce you. For me, I don't say that aloud, but we both know she was in love with me too. We found that out after she died. But Evan doesn't need salt in whatever wound he might still have. Or maybe I'm the only one who hurts anymore. After all, Evan is really damn happy these days. You don't have to keep reassuring me. I know you. In fact, I should probably say something this time. Falling for Nia taught me that you can't control who you love. If you could have changed how you felt about Becca, you would have. I fucking tried. And the fact I couldn't, that my brother from another mother nearly lost everything he worked for his whole adult life because I couldn't resist giving my heart to his late wife, still eats at me. I know. I'm not blaming you. I'm trying to absolve you. Hell, I had no business falling for Nia. I'd only lost Becca 6 months earlier. I felt numb. And don't get me started on how cliché it was of me to nail my assistant. Or how much Evan's impulsive decision had risked dragging Stratus into a nasty sexual harassment suit. But that's not the point of this conversation. Everything worked out for him and Nia. Look, I appreciate you trying to make me feel better. I'm not. Well, I am, but not for the reason you think. Nia proved to me that the heart wants what it wants, and lying to yourself is pointless. You knew I didn't love Becca. As the man who did, you wanted what was best for her. I can't imagine how hard it must have been to see her miserable and feel powerless to make her happy. Fucking awful. It wasn't my place. But while she was alive, I wished like hell it had been. At times, I resented my best friend for taking up Becca's time, for filling her life and her womb, when he wasn't as devoted to her as I was dying to be. Hell, he wasn't even with her the day rain-slick streets claimed her and their unborn child because he'd been immersed in work. Evan sighs. Maybe it was more your place than mine. I just didn't see it. It's done. Nothing we say will change that. You're right, but I still want to thank you. You could have taken Becca from me, royally fucking my business in the process. You didn't, and I appreciate it. This is so like Evan. No matter what, he's the most true blue friend I've ever had, that I ever will have. He's right, I had choices. I could have made a play for Becca. When she was alive, I sometimes wondered if she cared about me too. There were hints. Knowing what I know now, she would have run away with me. It's possible we would have been happy, at least for a while. But the truth is, no matter what my feelings were for Becca, I didn't turn my back on Evan. I couldn't. I chose him over her. Sure, I also chose my self-respect and my ethics, what few I have, over a woman. But I chose. If I had to choose all over again, I would make the same choice. I wouldn't do that, I swear. You're my ride or die, man. He claps me on the shoulder. Same. And I hate to ask more of you, but I need your help. You got it. No questions asked. Tell me what's up. My talks with Michael Astor at Wynnum have stalled. It's taken me a while to get that stiff Brit to tell me the problem, but let me guess. Bruce Rawson's merry band of assholes has been up in our potential customers' face trying to convince them that their on-site solid-state solutions are best for their company's data storage needs. Exactly. I've tried logic. I've sweetened the pot. I've all but tongue-bathed my contacts at Wynnum to close this deal. Landing it would give us a huge leg up in the UK and Europe. I've got a lot riding on this financially. I can't lose the deal. I won't. So Evan needs me to do something. We can manage the above-board back and forth of dealing with the folks at Wynnum, one of the biggest computer resellers to businesses abroad. He can do the schmoozing, the contracts, and the handshakes, but when business gets dirty, he calls me. I've always taken care of shit like this. I always will. Sure, leave it to me. Any ideas where to start? My best friend frowns. I wish I had some. Sorry. No worries. I've started with less. Time frame? Are you still looking to close this deal by the end of second quarter? Yeah. Nia's father is still making noise like he'd love to buy me up, supposedly for the right reasons this time. The bad blood between us is over, and I'll be nice for Nia's sake. But Evan doesn't want to sell to anyone. I hardly blame him. I'll figure out how to make Rawson and the rest of Reservoir Inc. fade into the background pronto so Wynnum focuses on Stratus. Perfect. Evan never asks how dirty a job is. He doesn't want to know. He's too nice, and he wants plausible deniability. Fine. He has no idea just how underhanded I am when it comes to saving Stratus and his ass, and he wants to keep it that way. Also fine. That's what he'll get. I owe him. Don't mention it. I'll get back to you once the situation is resolved. He smiles. Even if you were my best friend, there's no one else I'd rather have watching my back. Thanks, buddy. I stifle my guilt and vow I'll never let him down again. No thanks necessary. I start making phone calls the next day. A question here, calling in a favor there. It takes longer than I want, and impatience rides me, but by the following weekend I have my answer. So, Monday, I pick up the phone and dial an old frat brother of mine. It's a stroke of luck that he's in the middle of this cluster. Now I just need to find the right lever to pull to get him the hell out of it. Thankfully, he answers on the second ring. Holy shit, the great Sebastian Shaw is calling me on a Sunday morning. How the hell have you been? Good, man. And from what I hear, Jeremy McBride is doing fantastic things too. How's the consulting gig? Lucrative. I can't complain. Being my own boss is great, but you know I'm all about making money. Speaking of, you still working for Evan Cook, or is it my lucky day and you're calling me for a job? I'm not, but he doesn't need to know that. What if I was? You could write your own ticket, my friend. A lot more money and a lot fewer hours. It's pretty sweet. I'm sure. But Evan moved me to Maui. It's fucking awesome here. Way better than Phoenix, where I'd probably have to relocate to consult with his mainland clients face to face. No thanks. Yeah, I can't compete with that. Unless you're getting island fever, he asks hopefully. I snort. No chance. Hey, a guy can dream, right? He sighs. Seriously, I can't hire you away from Evan. He speaks geek tech. You and I, man, we speak the universal dirty language of money. No arguing that, and that's exactly how I'm going to bend him to my will. We do. That's actually why I'm calling. I hear you picked up a side hustle with Reservoir Inc. Yeah, word travels fast. I just inked that deal Friday afternoon. How the hell did you find out? I have a great network. You always have, he says like he's in awe. No idea why. He works his contacts over like a good whore. He touches them thoroughly, leaves them satisfied, and stays easy to find for the next trick. Listen, strictly between you and me, I might be interested in jumping ship. I lie. Maybe. But I'm going to want an obscene salary to do it. I toss out a number that borders on ridiculous. Predictably, McBride chokes. You can't be serious. I am, but let me prove it to you. How are you going to do that? Let me take the reservoir thing off your plate. Seriously? Yeah, it would save you a shit ton of research. You got me there. I know squat about the data storage biz. And you'll need to in order to really help them. After a decade with Evan, that's my bag. I could solve that shit in my sleep. And hey, I'll even work this one for free. What's the catch? No catch, except I'm going to fuck your client out of a deal. I feel vaguely guilty, but that's business. Besides, I've looked into McBride's situation. It's goddamn rosy. Way better than I thought a guy who vodka'd his way through the last 2 years of college would ever do. He didn't need this gig to go well half as much as Evan needs them to go the fuck away. Bullshit, Jeremy tosses back. Let me prove to you I'm worth the exorbitant salary. Give me the client, I'll do it pro bono. You'll see. It's a conflict of interest. You're competitors. We won't be if I come work for you. He pauses. Since I can almost hear the indecision rattling in his head, I lean on him a little. Come on, don't you want to free up some time to spend with that hot blonde you've been shacking up with? Sorry, what's her name? Avery? Aria. That's right, pretty name for a gorgeous girl. I heard a rumor you two were getting married. When's the big day? We split up last week. And he sounds crushed. Shit, I didn't hear that from the grapevine. Oh man, I'm sorry. What happened? I don't really have time to care, but I actually like Jeremy. Though screwing with this one account won't mean much to his thriving business, some girl messing with his heart pisses me off on his behalf. Apparently she's been fucking around on me with my older brother, who got her pregnant. It hasn't been a great week, he sighs. So if you want to take this account off my back and give you time to deal, you got it. If you're as good as I think you are, I'll hire you when it's over. Hell, I'd hire you now, but that salary, which is why I'm going to prove it to you first. I BS him again. We'll talk about it when I'm done, okay? Yeah, thanks. Fill me in. What does the client want? It's weird. They say they want help eliminating redundancies and inefficiencies so they can streamline overall. But Bruce Rawson should know this stuff. Jeremy sounds confused. True that. Rawson is too savvy to need the basics. After all, he built Reservoir by himself over the last half-dozen years. But he doesn't seem to? Hard to say. I've only talked to an assistant. Once the deal was done, Rawson had me contact his oldest son, Shane. We've traded emails since then, but I haven't personally spoken to the old man or the kid yet. That's unusual. And? Jeremy hums like the client is taxing his strained patience. Confidentially, Shane Rawson is an idiot. If his dad thinks he's taking over anything more complex than sweeping the floors, I'm not surprised they asked for my help. Why doesn't the old man just teach him? When do you fly out to see the client? I don't. His tone says he finds that even more puzzling. Rawson Sr. wants to do everything over the phone, like I'm a dirty little secret. Huh. That will work in my favor. No problem. I can handle it. By convincing them the Wyndham job isn't right for them. Thanks, but listen, you have to pretend to be me. I promised them personalized white glove treatment. And Jeremy doesn't want to let the new client down. You got it. Really? Thank fuck. I appreciate that. And the call. And I appreciate you being a pal. The fact I'm not makes me wince with guilt again. We hang up, and I make a few calls so he'll get a delivery of a very friendly stripper and a few liters of Ciroc to help him forget Arya. And hopefully he'll remember my gesture later when he finds out what I've done. Chapter 2, February 26th. 8 days later, at 2:00 in the afternoon, Dallas time, where Reservoir's offices are located, Shane Rawson returns my calls. Finally, we're getting down to business. Thanks for coming on board. You were really highly recommended, McBride. I'll have to get used to being called by Jeremy's name with these clients, but it's a small price to pay to shove them off Evan's back. I appreciate the opportunity. I've admired everything your father has accomplished. Over the years, he's built multiple businesses into successful powerhouses, then smartly sold them off and made bank. Reservoir is just another one of his fantastic achievements. Yeah. His voice dips low. Amazing. Rawson's eldest son should be enthusiastic about his dad's achievements, and his words indicate that, but Shane sounds distracted. I'm hardly shocked given his history. Shane Charles Rawson just turned 31. He made decent grades in high school, but nothing to get excited about. He scored a 1095 on his SAT, barely above average. Yet, somehow, he was accepted into Southern Methodist University, one of the most prestigious private colleges in Texas. There's a simple 5-letter explanation for that. Money. Daddy bought Shane's way onto campus. In his first semester, he was accused of sexually harassing a faculty member and getting a girl in his dorm pregnant. The following spring, his frat kicked him to the curb for dismal grades. Not long after, a state trooper pulled him over for underage drinking and driving. The cop didn't show up for the trial to provide testimony. I don't have to guess who paid him off, so Shane walked free. Then, just before finals, he dropped out because he was failing every class, including Introduction to Campus Life, which should have been an easy A. The guy didn't even last a year in college. After that, he tried various occupations, everything from selling real estate to, of all laughable endeavors, being a race car driver. He bombed. For the past 2 years, he's been working for his dad with a puffed-up title that carries zero responsibility. Grumbles around the office are that Shane sucks at his job, partly because he's not bright, but mostly because he doesn't give a shit, because he's in the middle of a contentious divorce, or because that's just who he is. Will your father be overseeing this company restructure? I ask. Oh, yeah. He drawls long and deep, his breathing suddenly harsh. Is the guy feeling okay? Good, that's good. I mean, no, Dad put me in charge of this while he... Suddenly, Shane sucks air through his teeth in a hiss, then moans. Oh. What is Shane Rawson doing? Shitting? Gaming? Masturbating? Do we need to have this conversation when you're less busy? Nah, I got this, McBride. It's fine. It's so... He blows out a heavy breath. Good fuck. No need to guess anymore. He's masturbating. Son of a bitch. I close my eyes and try not to imagine this guy whacking off during our call. In fact, I'll try to ignore his rough pants and moans altogether. You were saying your father won't be available for our streamlining efforts because... I'd 100 times rather be dealing with Bruce Rawson. He's a wily bastard, and he would be difficult to bluff. But I'd rather have the challenge, and not have to listen to his son heaving and puffing into the phone like he's working up to a monster orgasm while we discuss things like org charts and balance sheets. He's busy. I got this. His gasping picks up pace. That's right. In order to get started, I'll need your financial statements for the last 5 years. Somewhere in those figures, I'll find a reason to convince Shane that pursuing Wyndham will be bad for the company's bottom line. The rest of it, if I'm going to figure out how stiff Evan's competition really is. I'll need their most recent year's numbers, especially anything to do with product launches, advertising budget, month-over-month revenue and expenses, along with all the data about employee compensation so I can assess their profits and losses and their prospects for the future. Got the previous 4 years, but, we haven't finished last year's. Been too, busy. I slapped my palm over my face. Listening to him jack off isn't how I wanted to spend my Monday. Do you have a delivery date for that? After all, first quarter is more than half over, and I don't know how they're making decisions about the future of the company without assessing their financial health for the previous 12-month period. No, goddamn. He's panting like a bellows now. If I didn't have to talk to the asshole in order to clear Evan a path to our next big client, I would have already hung up. Too busy? I can't resist prodding him. Yeah, that's fucking it. Oh, yeah. At his long, growled groan of satisfaction, I shake my head. He's rude. This is fucking unprofessional. I like getting off too, I admit it, but not in the office. I have zero respect for a guy who's unable to focus on critical business more than his dick. So if you can't do this, who should I be talking to? Hell yes, I'm confronting him. I have my usual responsibilities around Stratus, plus this gig for Jeremy. I seriously don't have time for Shane's self-pleasure. Will that be all, Mr. Rawson? A female suddenly purrs in the background, and I can all but hear her licking her lips. My jaw gapes wide. Holy fuck, Shane was getting a blowjob? That puts him in the lucky column versus the loner one, but either way he's a loser. He has a multi-million-dollar company with huge growth potential at his fingertips, and he can't think past his cock. Shane clears his throat. Nothing else for now, Carly. Check in with me before you leave today. I might need more dictation. Ew. Of course, the woman eagerly agrees. I hear the faint click of a door opening, then closing. Does Shane think this shit is cute, or that I'm an idiot? Whatever. Rawson, who should I be talking to? Try my brother, Brady. The fitness model and Instagram influencer, what the hell does he know about data storage solutions? When did he join the organization? And if he has, will it make a difference? Brady is 29. He ran track, swim, and wrestled through high school. He got an athletic scholarship to some little school in Mississippi. He graduated with a physical education degree and no job offers. But he was already posting pics of himself in the gym, drinking protein shakes, posing half-naked in bed, and smiling for his growing legion of adoring fans. Now, with a couple million followers, he's picked up endorsement deals, modeling gigs, and even an acting role or two. As far as I know, he's never stepped foot in Reservoir's office. This ought to be a shit show. He's volunteered to help out while... Shane stops himself. Well, temporarily. He's getting himself acclimated and isn't bogged down in other projects yet. I'll give you his number. He rattles off the digits. I'm sure he'll have a lot more time to give you. Now, if you'll excuse me... Then Shane hangs up. Good riddance. If I never have to hear the guy get sucked off again, which I'm betting is a regular occurrence, I'll count myself lucky. Immediately I dial Brady's number. My hopes aren't high. He doesn't return my call until Friday. It's 11 p.m. in New York City, where he's currently planning a fan meet-and-greet over the weekend, but it's 5 o'clock in Hawaii, where I was hoping to get the hell out of my office on time for once this week. When I see his number on my display, I sigh and drop back into my office chair. Thanks for returning my call, Mr. Rawson. Your older brother said I could count on you to help me with this reorganization Reservoir Inc. paid me to oversee. I need some documents Shane couldn't put his hands on. Fuck. You're not the Jeremy from Men's Health? I hear a shuffling of papers and what sounds like a party in the background, complete with loud music and laughing women. No, I'm Jeremy McBride of... Shit, I need Jeremy Collins. He wants to talk to me about a shoot for the mag. Congrats, but I called to discuss your father's company. I've been hired to consult about your structure and practices, make recommendations, and that's not my bag. Talk to Shane. I grit my teeth. I did, and he said to talk to you because you're joining the firm to help out. The hell I am. I told him I'd pitch in when I got back to Dallas, but that's not happening anytime soon. I'll be in New York for a few weeks, then I'm jetting to Milan for a fashion show before heading to San Diego for a private photo shoot. I'm fielding a lot of offers this summer. I don't have time to grow my fitness empire and do his job too, especially when he's too lazy to work, too stupid to understand his role, and too absorbed by getting his dick sucked to care. Brady might be irritable and crude, but I can't fault his insight. No, he can't help my cause, but I have more respect for him than Shane, so I feel compelled to say something. You realize that in your brother's hands, reservoir and your inheritance will go down the toilet? He scoffs. I don't care. I'm making 6 figures a month right now with plans to expand. I'm opening an online fitness platform next year. It's clearly a big deal to him. Awesome. If you're not interested in, can I hook you up with a trial membership? It's really an honor since right now the service is by invitation only. Thanks, but you're into your online fitness platform as much as I'm into my job. You know how it is, owning your own kingdom and all. I get it. You're cool, man. If you want something, maybe you should talk to Rogan. He's way smarter than Shane. Isn't Rogan a bartender? I remember that from my online research. Part-time for now, but he's got 2 fucking degrees. We keep hoping he'll do something more practical with them than sling drinks. Why doesn't he? Not that I care, but I'm curious. Because he hates mornings and he loves a different piece of ass every night. I can't say I don't understand his motivation. Since he's still making Cosmos for the single ladies of Deep Ellum, maybe you can help me get in touch with your dad? Jeremy didn't expressly say so, but I'm guessing the old man hired him. No one told you? What? I've only talked to Shane so far. He sighs. What a fucking douche. Dad hired you to help my brother out, so what does he do, pawn you off on everyone else without telling you the truth? The truth? Dad is in a bad way. He's getting older, and his doctors recommended he totally unplug for health reasons. Shane promised to handle everything, but I think he just planned to drop it all in your lap. That doesn't shock me. Any idea how long your father will be away from the office? Until his health improves. Who knows when that will be? Well, I wish him all the best. But maybe I can use this to my advantage. After all, if Shane is supposedly helming the organization right now, which he's clearly not, who's leading the charge to win Wynnham's business? I'd love to ask, but I can't without risking my cover. There's an answer, though. I'll find it. Thanks. I found Dad a great out-of-the-way ultra-private spa in the Catskills. He's learning yoga and meditation. He needs to rewire his brain to be more in sync with his body. Frankly, I think he needs to sell receptacle and reservoir. I correct automatically. Whatever. It's a risk to his health, and he's wealthy enough that he should never worry about money again. Make Shane find his own way in the goddamn world. I found mine, and when Rogan gets his shit together, he will too. Our oldest brother needs to grow up or fuck off. Can't say I disagree. Thanks for your time, Mr. Rawson. Just Brady. And hey, if you change your mind about that online fitness platform, let me know. I'll hook you up with a month's pass. I already have a tough workout regimen, and Evan is a taskmaster in the gym if I ever think about slacking off. I'll keep that in mind. And here's Rogan's number just in case. He might be more interested in saving Dad's effort at data storage domination than me. Worth a try, anyway. Then Brady is gone. I stare at my dimming phone with a sigh. Now that my second hope is gone, what are the odds that I'll have any luck with Rawson's youngest? Slim to none, but I have to try. Monday morning Rogan's time, I call and leave a message. At least he calls me back the same day, though it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Rawson? I ask. That's my dad, I'm just Rogan. Brady mentioned you'd be calling me. What's up? If the youngest son isn't involved, I can shorten this conversation a lot. I'm the consultant your father hired to help streamline Reservoir. Are you planning to join the organization? Fuck no. They have meetings before 10 a.m. Who does that? Most of corporate America. So you're not planning to pitch in? I'm busy with my life. If it helps, I feel sorry for you having to deal with Shane. He's my oldest brother and I love him, but he's useless, for real. Yet he's somehow going to run the organization? I gently point out how stupid that is in the hopes it will make a difference to this guy, but I'm not holding my breath. Rogan Rawson has all the potential in the world and seemingly no drive. He has 2 degrees, one in physics.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?